Do you know what time it is? Yep, it is that time. Hi, my name is Jeanette, and I want to thank you for joining me on the channel Jane Reads. So once again, it is that time of month when I play my TBR Bonkers game to choose my TBR for the next month. So this month, or this time, we are playing for September's TBR. And what are my plans for September? Or what am I hoping to get onto this TBR for September? So one is I do plan on participating in Series September, which is hosted by Krista at Books and Jams and Sarah, I want to say. I have just completely lost her co-host. So I'll put the name down here. Okay, I have not printed out the printable yet. They've done it a little bit differently, their bingo board. Their prompts are a little bit different and got to be creative to see how I'm going to fit them. And so I've got to really kind of put the thinking cap on. So for that, really my focus is going to be series. I just want to get series books on this TBR, which should be fairly simple because I love to read series. So I own a lot of series books or have quite a few series on the go. Okay, so for my yearly reading challenges, for my own reading challenge, the Jane Reads Christian Fiction Challenge, the prompt for September is duplicate letters in the title. So I did post a video with some recommendations with duplicate letters and 5 possibilities for me. So I will be looking to get one of those possibilities on the TBR. Then for the other 3 reading challenges I'm doing, I don't really have particular books set out for them. For Chantel's, I am on the Montgomery path now. I have switched over. So I need a historical fiction. That should be fairly simple for me. Then for Katie's from Paperbacks and Ponytails, it is a souvenir item you would buy. Yeah, I don't have a particular book picked out for that, so we'll see what happens. And then for Oshina's, I'm doing the prompt rainbow cover, which I don't know. I have no idea what I'm going to do for that. I don't even know really what I have for that. So we'll see what happens there. So we're just going to go straight into the game. Oh, no, we're not. So how did my last month go? So very quickly, I had 7 prompts to complete, which ended up with 9 books on my TBR for the month because I had a book 3 in a series and I hadn't read book 1 and book 2. So I have read 9 or 10 books as of today filming this. It is the 22nd of August, and so I've already read 10, so I have almost completed my TBR. I have this book left on my TBR, which is If I'm Found by Terry Blackstock. As you can see, I've started it. It is book 2 in the If I Run series. This is a reread for me, so this should go fairly quickly. I will have no problems finishing this before the end of the month. I also plan on reading If I Live, which is book 3 in this series, before the end of the month. I also have 2 advanced reader copies. I just received this one today, Target Acquired by Lynn. This is book number 2 in the Lake City Heroes series, and I got this directly from Rebel. And so I'm hoping to read it before the end of the month. We'll see. Because I also have a Token of Love. Wow, I should know the title of this. Yes, that is correct. A Token of Love by Carrie Taransky. This one releases September the 3rd, and I am on the launch team for that one, so I'm really hoping to get it read before the end of the month as well. I still have a week. It is very possible, but those are kind of, if I don't get them read, they will be added to my September TBR at the very beginning of the month as well. So that is kind of all the plans that I'm hoping to get on. And now let's go to the game board. Okay, roll number 1. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so the first prompt is 4+ words in the title. I have options and I don't know what to pick. So I have The Wish Book Christmas by Lynn Austin. This is the companion to the book If I Were You. So it is part of a series, it's a duology. And it has duplicate letters in the title with the 2 O's. And it has a souvenir that I would buy, because I can't reach it, I would buy a Christmas ornament when I'm away. So that's kind of almost perfect, but do I want to read a Christmas book in September? Not particularly. So I don't know. Then I have To Right a Wrong by Jen Turano. This is book number 2 of the Bleecker Street Inquiry Agency series. This is the next book for me to read. And it's historical fiction, so it fits that one of the prompts I need to fit. It's book 2 in a series, so it fits the series. And it has a journal on the front, so I probably would buy a journal. I'm looking for a journal. I don't know if I would consider that a souvenir item though. So I don't know. Then I have The Sea Before Us by Sarah Sundin. This is book 1 of her Sunrise at Normandy. And so it is a start of a series, but it is a series that I would like to be completed this year. So I need to start the series to be able to finish the series this year. So those are my 3 options. I don't know what to do. I know my BFF would tell me to pick this one because, she sent it to me. And I really want to read it. This was like beginning of the year she sent this to me. So it's been on my shelf for 8 months now. But I'm also like, what am I going to use for my souvenir item? Like, this is my ideal book. But then I'm also like, do I really want a Christmas book in September? I don't know. I feel like, I know when I'm watching Chantal, she does like a random number generator when she doesn't know which book to choose. I'm very tempted to do that. Very, very tempted. But my phone is tied up because it's filming the board game at this moment. And I don't want to take it out of its spot because it's set up for that. I'm like, how else can I do this? Okay, this is what we're gonna do. Because I have the deck of cards sitting right here for the deck of TBR that I was playing in August. Okay, so I'm gonna shuffle them. Okay, so I don't know what's on top. Okay, so we're gonna go with, how am I gonna do this? I almost feel like I need the other camera for this, but I'm not going to. I'm gonna do this one-handed. Okay, so this is gonna be card number 1, card number 2, card number 3, okay? Whichever book had, I'm going to draw the first 3 cards. Whichever card out of those 3 cards is the highest number, that's the book I'm going to read. I hope that makes sense. So, book 1, The Wish Book Christmas. Book 2, To Right or Wrong. And book 3 is The Sea Before Us. Okay. First card is a 4. Not very high. Next card is a 2. Well, the 4 definitely beats that card. Third card is a king. So that is higher than a 4. That means I'm going to read The Sea Before Us by Sarah Sundin. Okay, what is this book about? Nothing but love could heal the wounds of war. In 1994, no, that's not what it says. It's historical, Jeanette. In 1944, American naval officer Lieutenant Wyatt Paxton arrives in London to prepare for the Allied invasion of France. He works closely with Dorothy Fairfax, a Wern in the Women's Royal Naval Service, who pieces together reconnaissance photographs with holiday snapshots of France, including those of her family's summer home, in order to create an accurate map of Normandy. Maps that Wyatt turns into naval bombardment plans for D-Day. As the two spend concentrated time together in the pressure cooker of war, their deepening friendship threatens to turn into something more. But both of them have too much to lose to give in to love. I'm really hoping I will enjoy this. So, okay, this is going to be book number 1. Let's go back to the board and see what happens with roll number 2. Okay, roll number 2. 9 and a 1 is 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so prompt number 2 was BFF's favorite author. Now, I did get this one last month, but I made her choose a suspense author. And she doesn't really have a favorite suspense author. So I put all the prompts in from last month back into the board, and it came up again. And this was really easy for me. At least I think it was easy. I have sent her a text to ask if she approves of my book choice, but I haven't heard back yet. But I'm pretty sure Sarah Sundin is one of her favorite authors. And I mean, considering she's read this series, loved it, she sent me this book, so I think she will approve. If she doesn't approve, she'll tell you. So this is book 2 of the Sunrise at Normandy series that I just put on. So The Sky Before Us. And because it's book 2, I'm not going to read the full back. I'm just going to read the tagline at the top, and it says, "Facing the past may be the most fearsome battle of his life." And with it being series September, it makes sense that I would read 2 books in the same series. Like, that's perfect. Okay, so let's go back to the board and see what happens on roll number 3. Okay, roll number 3. 6 and a 1 is 7. I don't feel like I'm getting very far. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, well that helps. I'm going forward 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, I thought that was going to be the loose spot again. A borrowed book. Okay, so I got borrowed book for this one. Now, when I first did this prompt, it was going to be books that had been loaned to me by somebody else. Not library borrows. But I want to do a library borrow, so that's what I'm going to do. So I am going to do 3 Missing Days by Colleen Coble. This is book number 3 in the Pelican Harbor series. It will finish off that series for me, so that will be a series completed this year. Yeah, that's the one I'm going to do. Only because the other books, the books that I currently have loaned to me from my mom, are a book 3 of a series that I have not even started that series yet. And then another one in the True Colors series, but I'm not really reading that as a series. I'm just picking up the books that are interesting to me. So yeah, I want to focus on completing series. So 3 Missing Days by Colleen Coble. Because it is book 3, I'm not really going to say much about it at this point in time. Okay, let's go back to the board and see what happens with roll number 4. Okay. Roll number 4. 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, I'm almost off there. A female author. Okay, so I got the prompt, female author. This is really easy because majority of the books I read are female authors. So, I have The Land Beneath Us by Sarah Sundin. So that would complete the series that I've put the other two on this TBR. Or I've got To Right or Wrong by Jen Turano, which, as I said, is book 2 of this series. And both these books are on my TBR bingo board to complete in 2024. So they both need to be read at some point this year. And then I have Sandcastle Inn by Irene Hannon. So these ones are historical fiction. This one is contemporary romance. And it would get me caught up in this series to what is released currently. It is book number 10 of the Hope Harbor series. So, do I want to completely finish a series? Do I want to make progress in a series? Or do I want to be completely caught up? I already have 2 historical fictions and a romantic suspense. So, I mean, most likely, I'm very do I just complete the series? I love to binge the series. And Series September kind of makes sense to binge a series, right? I binged 1 series in August so far. I'm working my way on binging a second series. So, let's continue that trend in August. Yes, I think that's what I'm going to do. So we're going with The Land Beneath Us. As I said, this is book 3 of the Sunrise at Normandy series. And again, I'm not going to read the full back. I'll just read the top tagline. And it says, in the midst of a global war, 2 forsaken souls search for personal peace. So that is the one we're going to add. Let's go back to the board and see what happens with roll number 5. Okay, roll number 5. 5 and a 2 is 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. My game is liking me today. Or I'm liking my game today. So I got contemporary romance. And Sandcastle Inn by Irene Hannon. This is a contemporary romance. And will this count for a rainbow cover? Does that kind of has a rainbowish colors in it? Maybe? I don't know. So, yeah. Okay. So, as I said, this is book number 10, but each book in this series is pretty much a standalone because the storylines do not carry over. It's just characters from the town do carry over. And it says, family is complicated, but true love doesn't have to be. So from what I understand, Vienna has returned home just for a passing visit, doesn't want to stay, but her mom needs some help. No. But what? No, sorry. Vienna returns home for a short visit. Matt needs some help or is helping his sister with the B&B, and Vienna ends up helping as well. I don't really know. That's just a very brief. Vienna may just have the skills needed to resuscitate the floundering B&B if Matt can convince her to hang around long enough. So we'll see what happens. But this will get me completely caught up in the series, which I've been working on for the last 2 years. So that would be good. Okay, roll number 6. Will this be the last roll? Okay, Let's see what happens here with roll number 6. 5 and a 3 is 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Perfect. So the last roll took us to the end of the game, which the end spot is to pick a book from my TBR bingo board. And as you can see, I'm doing fairly well. I only have 6 books left on the board, and one of them, The Land Beneath Us, is already on my TBR for the month. But each month I spin a wheel between all the books that are remaining to see what book I'm going to read. Now, this could be very dangerous, spinning this wheel, because I have a book 1, but I have a book 3 and a book 3, which both these series I haven't started yet. Then I have, Christmas book and book 2, which is the next book for me to read. So, let's see what the wheel decides I need to read this month. And is it going to add 3 books to my TBR, or is it going to keep my TBR exactly as it is? Let's see what happens. It's going to be mean and add 3 books to my TBR. But at least book number 1 I have on my Kindle. So it picked The Price of Valor by Susan May Warren, which is book number 3 of the Global Search and Rescue series. So, as I said, I haven't even started this series. It is a romantic suspense. The first book is The Way of the Brave, and it says former pararescue jumper Orion Star is haunted by the memory of a rescue gone wrong. He may be living alone in Alaska now, but the path of his failure and his injuries has followed him there from Afghanistan. He has no desire to join Hamilton Jones' elite rescue team, but he also can't shrink his duty when the call comes to rescue 3 lost climbers on Denali. Okay, so I do own book number 1 and book number 3, but I do not own book number 2. So I will need to borrow that from the library. So can I replace my borrowed book with that book? Oh well. Okay, so we went from 5 books to 8 books, which is totally doable because I've been reading an average of 10 to 11 books a month. So, I mean, it's totally doable. This is just not a book that I'm really looking forward to at this point in time. I have really enjoyed Susan May Warren's books previously, up to the last series I read. Now, this series was released before the last series I read, so maybe that's a sign for me because I really have enjoyed a lot of her older books. But this one is also set in Alaska again. And I'm not a fan of Alaska settings. I mean, I want to see Alaska at some point in time, but I'm just not a fan of books set there. I don't know. I can't explain that. So, we'll see. But I have to say, I'm pretty happy with this TBR as it is. But can I complete all my reading challenge prompts with this TBR? So as I said, Oshina's, the one I'm doing, is rainbow on the cover. Or rainbow cover. Doesn't say rainbow particular on the cover. So, does this count for rainbow color? I don't know. You tell me. Can I use this one for the rainbow cover? Okay. Then for my own challenge is the duplicate letters in the title. So that book does fit for that one. Sandcastle Inn has 2 N's. I've got 3 missing days, so it has 2 E's in the word 3 2 S's in the word missing, so that one totally works as well. Okay, so I definitely have something for mine. Now, for Katie's Read Around the World challenge, the prompt number 9 is a souvenir on the cover that you would buy. I don't know. I don't wear hats or anything, so I'm not going to buy that. Or I very, very rarely do. And all these covers are very similar. Like, if it was a person on the cover, I've got that met. Trying to think, what does the 3 Missing Days cover look like? Because The Way of the Brave is, again, a person on the cover. That would be an easy prompt to fill this month. On 3 Missing Days, it's water and part of a lady with a rain jacket type, some sort of jacket, but she's holding a flashlight. Would I buy a flashlight? Probably not. Okay, I'm gonna really have to think about that one. I don't know. I have no idea. Okay, then is that the last? Nope. Reading challenge. My last reading challenge is Chantel's Read Your Bookshelf, and as I said, September is Read a Historical Fiction. Check. I've got 3 of them on my list. That one's done. Not a problem. Okay, so recap. Here are the books that I own physically, plus the same number of them that I do not currently own. Okay, so I have, let's start in order. So I have Sandcastle Inn by Irene Hannon, a contemporary romance, and will complete a series for me. Then I have The Sea Before Us, book number 1, The Sky Above Us, book number 2, and The Land Beneath Us, book number 3 of Sarah Sundin's Sunrise at Normandy series. Then I have 3 Missing Days by Colleen Coble. That's book number 3 of her Pelican Harbor series, and that will complete that series for me as well. Then I have The Way of the Brave, which is book number 1 of the Global Search and Rescue series by Susan May Warren. I have The Heart of the Hero, which is book number 2 of that series, and The Price of Valor, which is book number 3 of that series. So again, I'm binging another series. So that's binging 2 series this month. Oh boy. Okay, but as I said, 8 books, I'm not really that concerned about it. So that is what I'm going to read in the month of September. Have you read any of these books? I would love to chat in the comments below and let me know what you would use for a souvenir on the cover and a rainbow cover. Would any of these books fit for either one of those prompts? Please let me know in the comments below. I want to thank you for taking the time to watch this video today, and I hope you would come back and join me for future videos by liking and subscribing to the channel. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye.